everyone, it's Jack from Cultaholic.com back again with another big news video, this time regarding three massive stories from the world of professional wrestling. First of all, we have news of the Mae Young Classic bracket, which was revealed yesterday on Bracketology. We also have news of Kevin Owens' apparent departure from WWE, although a lot of people are suspecting that it is indeed a storyline, given the fact that literally he was in the middle of the ring on Monday Night Raw and said, "I quit," which kind of suggests that it may not be totally legitimate behind the scenes. However, we never know. Also some news on someone who has recently departed from WWE, or has appeared to depart as well, and that man is Newcastle's favourite son, no, not a member of Cultaholic, but actually Neville. So without any further ado, let's get straight into it, and let's take a look at all of the lovely news. First of all, the Mae Young Classic brackets have thrown up quite a few interesting possibilities in the first round. I'll take a look at a few of those now. We have Meiko Satomura, one of the most experienced and dangerous women in the tournament, going up against Killer Kelly, who's appeared recently on NXT UK. I think in situations like this sort of match, we can sort of expect Meiko Satomura to get through to the next round. However, you never know, and I should point out, by the way, that all of these results have already taken place, but I don't actually know them because the spoilers are out there if you want to find them. But if you don't, I'd advise you to potentially stay away from the Mae Young Classic 2018 Wikipedia page. We also have Toni Storm versus Ginny, an all-UK matchup. Yes, Toni Storm is from Australia/New Zealand, but at the same time, she is a key figure of the UK independent scene, as is Ginny, the current Progress Women's Champion, one of the best heels around at the minute on the UK scene. She's just fantastic at drawing heat from the crowd with her smug fashionista gimmick. It's fantastic. Toni Storm, of course, one of the best in-ring workers in all of wrestling, not just women's wrestling. She's just absolutely fantastic across the board. Another interesting bout to take note of is Caitlyn versus Kavita Devi. Kavita Devi was, of course, in last year's Mae Young Classic. She's the kind of towering sort of giant of the tournament, I guess. She didn't get very far last time, but she's certainly an imposing presence. But the reason this match is so interesting is because it is Caitlyn's return match. She is the big WWE alumni coming back into the tournament and seeing how far she can progress. I wouldn't bank on her to get, all the way to the final or anything like that, but I think, she could pick up a couple of wins, maybe progress a little bit far in the tournament, and then just see how she goes. It's kind of similar to when Serena Deeb came back last year and is now actually a trainer in WWE. So could we see Caitlyn join WWE again in a behind-the-scenes role? Potentially, but we'll find out. And the fourth match I want to talk about is Xia Brookside versus Io Shirai. This, again, like the first match, is one of those ones where you'd expect a pretty decisive victory for Io Shirai. She's one of the best wrestlers in the world. She's kind of the Kairi Sane of this tournament in that she came over from Stardom, being a big, huge star in Stardom, and is set to sort of really impress a lot of people who've never seen her before in WWE. She was actually originally set to come over to WWE, I think before Kairi Sane was, but then they chose Kairi Sane because of Io Shirai's injury problems at the time. I think I'm right in saying that. Xia Brookside, for her part, is a very, very exciting prospect. She's very young. She's the daughter of Robbie Brookside, so she's grown up in wrestling. And even though I don't expect there to be a shock here, I wouldn't be too against the idea of Xia Brookside getting a quick victory. I think it would make a megastar out of her. But at the same time, I think you can't really waste Io Shirai's potential in the tournament. So yeah, I understand that it'll be disappointing to probably see Xia Brookside go out so early, but at the same time, I think you've got to consider Io Shirai the favourite, not only for this match, but maybe even for the tournament as a whole. I should point out that the first episode of the Mae Young Classic tournament starts next Wednesday after NXT and will be commentated by Michael Cole, Beth Phoenix, and Renee Young. That's a very interesting commentary lineup, especially because Renee Young proved what a wonderful commentator she can be when she filled in, I think last week, or maybe not last week, but the week before, on Monday Night Raw. She did a fantastic job, and I'm looking forward to see what she does in the Mae Young Classic. The finals will, of course, take place at Evolution on October 28th, I believe, where it'll be joined by matches such as Trish Stratus versus Alexa Bliss. Moving on to other news now involving Kevin Owens, whose ProWrestlingTees page has been brought back to life. Obviously, ProWrestlingTees is one of the biggest places for independent wrestling merch. A lot of wrestlers are on there. Mainly, well, essentially, wrestlers who aren't signed with WWE. Of course, Kevin Owens has been for the past few years a member of the WWE or NXT roster, and this whole firing angle has been given a new dose of realism by the fact that his ProWrestlingTees store is back online, but this could just be his way of trying to kind of immerse fans in the whole idea of a firing. This isn't the first time we'll have seen such an angle from Kevin Owens. In fact, it's not the first time that we've seen his ProWrestlingTees store reignited, brought back to life in recent times. Remember on the SmackDown UK tour where he and Sami Zayn got in a little spot of bother for not doing some sort of post-match beatdown correctly with the New Day, and they were sent home. I think their Pro Wrestling Tees stores were reinstated back then. Also, back in his days as Kevin Steen in Ring of Honor, there was a very similar angle that took place where basically he was too dangerous, too wild, too out of control. He was feuding with Jim Cornette, the authority figure at the time, and Ring of Honor fired him, removed all mention of him from their website. In the archives of their match history and stuff, if there was ever a Kevin Steen match, it'd be replaced with 4 X's. They went all in on trying to make the story a believable and real feeling one. And I just wonder if this is Owens doing a bit of a CM Punk thing. Obviously, the Summer of Punk that we all know was the second time such an angle had happened, and first happened back in Ring of Honor. Could Kevin Owens be bringing his old Ring of Honor storyline to a bigger stage in WWE? I guess we'll find out. I want it to be true. I hope that this isn't just a legitimate quitting from Kevin Owens, because I think he's wonderful and I enjoy watching him on a weekly basis. I just wish they booked him a little bit better. And now it's time to talk about another man who appears to have left WWE, but in a far more legitimate sense than Kevin Owens appears to have left WWE. It was widely reported earlier this week that Neville is free of his WWE contract now, which was a bit surprising considering he never came back for any sort of farewell, even despite, the wonderful work he did in the Cruiserweight division on 205 Live as a heel. But at the same time, I guess him and WWE were probably just butting heads at every turn. He obviously dropped the championship to Enzo Amore, which greatly displeased him at the time from what we've heard, and has basically taken his ball and gone home. And I think out of everyone on the WWE roster, Neville is one of the guys with the biggest upside on the independent scene. He would be getting bookings left, right and centre. Everyone wants to see Neville, Will Ospreay tweeted, "Give me Pac." Pac was Neville's name on the indies. And yeah, I think a lot of us, although it would be sad to see Neville turn his back on WWE and, leave, I think a lot of us at the same time would be very excited to see what he would do on the independent scene. But the main news here is that Neville's name has been moved from the current roster section of WWE.com and moved to the alumni section, which seems to imply, if it's not just another Kevin Owens-esque storyline, but this one seems more legit, which seems to imply that he is gone for good. And where's he going to crop up? I'm from Newcastle. I want to see him wrestle in my town. I hope that he does some kind of homecoming show, because I think that would be absolutely wonderful, and I'd obviously be straight there. Front row, come on Nev, I'd be saying in exactly that tone of voice. Come on, Nev. So that's it for now. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Jack from Cultaholic.com. Leave your thoughts and opinions on any of these news stories or any wrestling news in general down in the comments section below. If you want to follow me on Twitter, you can at Jack the Jobber. If you want to follow any of us, you can generally at Cultaholic. And check out our Patreon if you are so inclined as well. Patreon.com/Cultaholic. And never forget, of course, to join us.
Hello, I'm Adam Pachisi from Cultaholic.com, and as you may be aware, we beat the WrestleTwats in our SummerSlam predictions contest. As you may also be aware, this means that all 3 members of the WrestleTalk team have to perform a live lip-sync concert at the Wrestling MediaCon in Manchester. I can't wait.
On top of the Cultaholic vs WrestleTalk live show, there's also live wrestling from Impact, Rev Pro, NJPW and Defiant, as well as live panels involving the likes of Dave Meltzer, Colt Cabana, Sean Walton and a whole range of incredible guests.
Tickets are available now from WrestlingMediaCon.com. Ollie Davis, I hate you.